Every day, more than 17 veterans take their own lives. By building a gaming community that offers peer-to-peer counseling, GameCore is aiming for zero. Research shows that playing video games together offers social connection, stress relief, cognitive enhancement, and community building. On our Discord server, veterans, active duty service members, and supporters chat and game together. Some casual gaming sessions might only involve 2 or 3 people, while other events might include larger groups and be streamed on the GameCore Twitch channel. Most of the time, there is a GameCore member available to lend an ear to anyone who needs it. Join the Discord server. It's free. We are an inclusive community and we don't require anything of our members. If you want to be more involved, there are always opportunities to volunteer.
All right, welcome, folks, to the Wednesday night broadcast of the Tech for Troops Cup Series here on the IWM Broadcast Network. And tonight, we are at Road America. Yep, you're thinking that we should be in Mexico with the rest of the NASCAR guys. Nope, we chose to stay north all the way up to Wisconsin. I'm Rick Souza here in the booth with John DeRutris. And John, we've got these guys here on a track they probably have never been on before.
No, probably not. And that makes it exciting because that really opens up the field of possibilities. We really don't know what to expect from this race. Now, a couple things we do have to say off the top. There's not going to be any full course caution. So this race will go flag to flag. There will be local cautions, but that is not going to stop the field. So, Rick, that means if you get stuck somewhere or if you go off pace and you get off the track, your race for a win, unless the driver in front of you makes a mistake, is over, and that's the nature of road course racing in NASCAR.
Absolutely. So right now the drivers are qualifying. It does take a while here. Qualifying is 2 laps. So when you think about it, it's actually 1 lap just to get around out of the pits to get the green flag to start your qualifying, plus 2 laps. Each lap takes approximately 2+ minutes. So that's about 6+ minutes or more of qualifying time. Most people are on the track right now qualifying. We're currently watching Kyle Smalley, who put up some good times in practice.
Yeah, let's ride on board and see what this 51 car is doing here early on in his qualifying lap. You can see him up the 3rd gear. Going to drop that thing down to 2nd. And now he's on this long straightaway, I'll call it, under the Cheese Bridge. As we pass under the Sargento Bridge right there. Going to make our way down into a very heavy braking zone, which gets a lot of drivers in trouble. But not Kyle. Got it done.
He's heading up into Hurry Bottoms.
Yep, and then that hard left-hander with a little bit of a sweeping right here. You're going to carry a lot of momentum through this corner, down the hill. You're going to see the boards on the right. You're going to break it to 3. Hopefully you can get the car slowed down, not wiggle. And then we get into this long, awkward Speedville section, which it's flat.
Yeah, this is the carousel through here.
It's annoying because you want to put the throttle down, but you can't until right about here. And that's when you're going to get to this very fast right-hander, probably shift back down to 3rd just to get the traction and the torque. And you're a full throttle before you start making your way back up to an elevation change. And that's one thing about this track, Rick, is you're going to go up, you're going to go down, and that's what makes road course racing so fun.
Yeah, this is Canada Corner. It's the 12th turn of the track as he's headed towards through the 13A and B, and then 14's your final corner coming up. That's a right-hander that leads to the straightaway, headed back to the start-finish line.
I mean, if this looks like something very similar to his practice laps, if that's any indication, he might run in the 2:10s, the 2:11s. Yep, right there. Oh, let's see. Where is his time going to be? 2:10.174.
Oh, actually 2:09.91.
2:09. Yeah, 2:09.91. Impressive. Kyle Smalley, one of the first drivers to break the 2:09 barrier there. And he's going to go for a second one. See if he can get that a little bit better. But at the top of the board, Kyle Smalley, Austin Call, Andrew Palesci, Roberto Ramirez, and Roland Collette, your current top 5, separated about 1.6 seconds. But this is what's going to be fun tonight, Rick. When you think about road course racing, there are drivers, like we said, have never been here before. There are drivers that have been here before. And that is something that you need to pay attention to. And you can pay attention to that through lap times. And there's a lot of different factors at road courses that go into play: braking points, braking zones, brake pressure, brake bias, master cylinders, a lot of technical jargon there. But all in all, to get a fast lap here, the big key is just stay on the track.
Well, especially here in qualifying, because if you venture off too far, iRacing will basically not let your lap count. So you got to keep it together and keep all 4. I think you have to keep at least 2 wheels on the track to make sure you stay qualified.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, top 10 separated by about 3.8 seconds. Pretty big gap, but that's not atypical here on a road course. But if you haven't started your qualifying laps right now, you see actually backed out of that one. Wonder if he's going to reset and give it another shot.
I don't know. We'll go up and look at who else is in. This is Roberto Ramirez.
He'll be repping the 41 car tonight, coming off the top of the hill. He's currently sitting in P4. Let's see if he can top that lap time of a 2:11 flat as he's about to cross the start-finish line right there. Let's see, can he improve? He does to a 2:10.7. Doesn't improve his position, but improves his time. Therefore, the 41 car.
Yep, he's currently sitting in 4th. Well, number of drivers are still on. I'm not sure exactly what the time is to go yet in qualifying. We're watching a few drivers, I think, pretty much wrap up. I think there's just less than a minute left. So while they're finishing up their qualifying, let's go ahead and start talking about where we are in the standings.
Yeah, let's dive into it. The point standings, as we go to a road course, can somewhat flip on their head. But right now, 10 different winners in the Tech for Troop Cup Series. And what we need to pay attention to is this cut line. Right now, looking at a Sammy Harrell, a Chuck Van Scoik, they're somewhat comfortable. But Aiden Lucas, Luke Bullard, John Ledger, Christoph Hall, Tracy Powers, 5 spots separated by 20 points here. If one of those drivers has a bad day, Rick, like Aiden Lucas or Luke Bullard, they can drop in the points. And conversely, let's say if Aiden Lucas has a great day and Chuck Van Scoik doesn't, they could jump up. With 31 potential entries tonight, there's 31 position points available. So that's going to be something to pay attention to. Ty Bostic, though, at the top, he's clear of that gap by about 60 points. So almost a 2-race gap for Ty. Same thing with Andrew Pileshi has a race gap with Justin Lewis too. So that cut line's getting hot.
Yeah, and we've only got 10 more races after this before we get to the playoffs. So it's not really crisis time, but time is running out. If you've already raced a bunch, you need to start making some moves to get yourself up in the points or get yourself on the podium.
And let's look at this really quick. So at the top of the board currently is Kyle Smalley. He's already got a win. Austin Call, second, also got a win. Andrew Pileshi sitting right there in 12th. He's currently third on the time charts. Got Roberto Ramirez not on the point standing. Same thing as Roland Collette. But Maxwell Caldwell, he's also got a win. So Andrew Pileshi is one of the ones up there that can race for this win. Jared Wishon up there as well. But also Ty Bostic. He's currently sitting 8th in the current speed charts for qualifying. He's sitting up there in 11th. He would love to have a win. But then you start making your way down to Michael Anthony, Greg Stone, Christoph Hall, William Corinne, Jordan Weaver. Those drivers are all well below. And so, well, besides Jordan Weaver, he's right there. And Maxwell Caldwell's in the points as well. So a lot of drivers that are mixed in this field can get it done tonight.
Yep. So we've got 31 laps here in the Tech for Troops Road America 125. That will come to you pretty much uninterrupted as far as cautions go. We may break with commercials just in some side-by-side shots, but we won't have any full course cautions, and we're about to get underway.
Yeah, I think we are. All right, really quick, let's bring up some track information right before we get the grid. So we have 73 degrees, 31 laps, pit road speed 45 miles an hour, 3 sets of tires, 1 on the car, 2 in the pits, 75% fuel on this nearly 4-mile-long track, and 3 green-white checker restarts, which we will not use because there will not be any full-course yellows unless it is something thrown by admin and we have an absolute roadblock, which I don't think we will. But track temp sitting at a lovely 100 degrees even.
Yeah, pretty spicy up here in Wisconsin.
Just is. All right. Well, we got the grid. All right, here we go for your Tech for Troop Cup Series Road America 125. You have Kyle Smalley on the point with Austin Call in second, Andrew Pileshi in third, Roberto Ramirez in fourth, Roland Collette in fifth, Maxwell Caldwell is going to start P6, Jared Wishon starting in seventh, Ty Bostic in eighth, Brad Peters in ninth, and Michael Anthony will start in the 10th position.
Wyatt Gray is in 11th with Greg Stone in 12th. In 13th, you've got Christoph Hall. 14th, William Corinne. 15th is Jordan Weaver. 16th is Cody Sturgill. Todd Merkel in 17th. Walker Thomas in 18th. Marco Berube in 19th. And Matthew Wood in 20th.
In 21st, you have Justin Lewis with Chuck Van Scoik starting in 22nd. Garrett Johnston starting in 23rd with Aiden Lucas starting in the 24th spot. In 25th, Nathan Yarnell, 26th, Jeremy Brown, Sammy Harrell in 27th, Zachary Allen in 28th, John Ledger, 29th, Philip Van Ortwick in 30th with Ryan D. Cook and David Watts in 32nd. Now, I'm looking through these times. The bottom 11 did not set a lap time, which is pretty interesting to me. So I'm curious if that's because of going off track, if that is by choice. Some drivers want to start in the back of road courses just so they can survive lap one and then try to make their way up through the field and get a good points day.
Well, we got a full field with 32 driver entries tonight. And a number of these drivers, we have not really seen them on road courses. Originally we did see them at COTA, but not everybody was with the league at that point. So, yeah, it should be interesting.
It should be. And we're going to be almost to green here. We're going into, I believe this is turn 12, and so going to be a little bit of a different restart. We're not going to have to go a whole lap.
Oh, that's convenient.
All righty, here we go. This field going to go side by side. We already got some gravel on the track, and that's one thing that we want to pay attention to. And Rick, really quick, I'll go through my 3 keys of the race as we just about to come up through the gears here. Brakes and braking, track position, and yourself. You can't beat yourself here tonight here at Road America. All right, here we go. We're about to get the green flag. Tech for Troop Cup Series. We got 10 races to go after this. who is going to lock themselves into the Tech for Troop Cup Series playoffs. We'll find out here tonight. Green flag in the air from Road America in Wisconsin.
We got Marco Berube, who is on pit road.
We do, and this is going to be a pretty wild turn one. See if we can get it under braking. We already have some cars side by side. We may have a car off right here. No, they're making their way through turn 1 and 2 pretty easily.
Saw Aiden Lucas was off track a bit there, but looking back, oh, the 5 goes around.
Looks like the 5 got tagged from behind right
That's
there.
Greg Stone.
Heavy front end damage for the 5 car. All right, the lead is about 2/10 off. He is stopped. Gonna go to the heavy braking zone here. You got to get the car woed down, and the 51 overshot the corner just a little bit, so it opened up the door for Pleshy.
Number of drivers off track too. Roland Collette, who did well. He's off. Also the 05 of Peters, also in trouble there.
Yeah, we got a bunch of drivers off track right now, and that's what's going to happen here with these fields. The 51 and the 91 are very, very close. Watch out for Andrew Pileshi on the back doorstep of that number 51. You see Zach Allen is now off track.
So Marco Berube come out of the pits. But, you know, there's going to be, in my opinion, over the next couple of laps or so, a real delineation between those drivers who are road racers with lots of road racing experience and others. So big
pile up. Oh yeah, we got a roadblock here on the back straightaway, Rick. Got cars all over the place trying to do burnouts. Oh, we got a big Rec 71 involved. No cautions. Got to remember no cautions here. And Ty Bostic looks like his car is destroyed. We may need to go take a look and see what happened in this one. This was a massive pileup on the back of the one of the back straightaways here at Road America.
Yeah,
he's trying to nurse that car around.
He's total. That car is toast.
It looks like it just doesn't want to turn. Got Garrett Johnston now on pit road. Don't know if you have time to pull up a replay. Oh, here we go. So it happened up in front. It was the 43, it looks like. Oh, no, it started way up ahead. Oh, man, it looked like Ty might have gone off just a little wide here. Oh, he took that corner a little wide, hit the grass, got loose, hit the wall, and this track isn't wide. Oh, man, that's what happened.
Yep.
And nowhere for these guys to go.
Number of drivers are now in the pits. Garrett Johnson, Aiden Lucas. He's just can't.
Something happened. Kyle Smalley, Rick. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but Kyle Smalley has lost the lead. Not sure what has happened to that 51 machine, but he's dropping like a fly.
Looks like he went off track. Hang on, let's go back.
Oh, good save, though. Amazing save by the 51. As we see Todd Merkel, John Ledger off track, Jared Wishin off track as well.
All right, we're back to live. A lot going on. Andrew Bush has got a little bit of a gap he's setting between himself and his other competitors, but back there, Maxwell Caldwell, Austin Calm, Kyle Smalley, nose to tail, battling around this track.
And John Ledger looks like he is still off track, just got back on track. He's battling through an injury, have to say, so shout out to John for coming out tonight. Cody Sturgill now off track, Rick.
He's got some front end damage on that car.
He does have some rear end damage as well. That is turn 12, turn 13.
Kyle Smalley's gotten around Maxwell Caldwell, trying to run down Andrew Pileshi.
Yeah, that was a great pass going into turn 1. I mean, set him up perfectly, but he's got 2.6 seconds now between him and the 91 of Andrew Pileshi. So the hunt is back on for the lead for the 51 car, 3 laps into this race. Currently trying to look at some battles that are on track. Wyatt Gray is off track a little bit. He collected it back up. We got a little bit of a battle forming right here, though. Wyatt Gray, Cody Sturgill, Jeremy Brown, but Michael Anthony now off track in the 14. And Rick, if you see her on the track, all the gravel is being washed up on the track.
Yeah, there's lots of gravel on the track.
And we got side by side. Oh, car off again right here.
Austin Call.
Yep, Ryan D. Cook off track. Philip Van Ortwick off track. Austin Call back off track. I feel like I'm going to say off track a lot.
Yes. Yep. Nathan Yarnell was in the gravel.
Yeah, goodness gracious. Look at how much gravel's put up right there. I believe that's around the carousel corner. It's not a place where you want gravel. There's already low grip. It's flat. You can't really get the car to turn. As we see how much the field is separated just 4 laps into this race, Rick. I mean, it's almost a full lap.
'91 really putting some distance between himself and the rest of the field. However, Kyle Smalley is really chasing him down. Nathan Yarnell is off. The 05 goes around. Right in front, that 05 is Brad Peters.
Watch out, there's a car coming. Oh, boy.
This is 24.
Yeah, it's turn 12. Turn 12 seems to be the culprit here today. Multiple cars going off, and to give you some lap time updates, Kyle Smalley ran a 2:10.8 last time by. Andrew Pileshi ran a 2:11 flat. So 51 is a little bit faster now as the gap slowly closing down. Chuck Van Squake off track, Rick?
Yep.
And Brad Peters on pit road.
He definitely has some damage on that 05 car. So this is, as we said earlier, this is not a track that this series comes to. It's not on the current schedule, but we put it on. We didn't feel they had not released a track for Mexico, and figured we'd stay in the U.S.
Not a bad option here at Road America. Oh, Cody Sturgill off and Jared Wishon off just a little bit there, but I think they were able to gather it back up.
Back at that's Wyatt Gray. Ryan D. Cook off track. Not sure why he's not able to get it going. Christoph Hall. Jordan Weaver in the gravel.
Oh boy.
Oh, got some connection issues.
Rick, I'm currently trying to figure out some fuel calculations at the moment. I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere in probably the 15 lap mark is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how it'll all play out with based on the fact that there are different speeds. I don't know what the average mile per gallon run is here. Yeah, I'm thinking 21, but it should be somewhere in there.
Yeah, I think 21 makes a lot of sense. I was trying to do some tough math, which means you can almost go the whole race. Oh, 54, David Watts off track. Trying to figure out where David is. I think that's almost turn 14.
It is turn 14, yep.
Yeah, look at all that dirt he's kicking up on the track, and that's one thing with iRacing's one of their latest updates, not the most recent one, but the one prior. We have marbles, we have grass, we have dirt, we have all the elements that can be washed up on track. There's the 21, Matthew Wood going off track. You can see all those little dots on the track. No, you're not seeing things. That's gravel, and you do not want to run that over, because if you do, you're going to be sliding a little bit, and so it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers combat that tonight. You can actually hear it in the wheel wells, right?
We'll go on board with Kyle Smalley.
And before I forget, I gotta say hello to Lorraine. She says go John L. and Ty B. I said hi to Rick, but she didn't say hi to me. Well, man. She's going down to the first gear right there. Top 3 running in their own category, but all in the 2 minute 11 second bracket. Everybody else running about 2:13s for the top 10, and behind them 2:15s, 2:16s.
You can hear the gravel in the wheel wells.
Be able to see a lot of gravel right here after 12. There it is on the track. Kyle Smalley trying to close the gap to Andrew Pileshi up there in first.
Number of drivers are in the pits. Wyatt Gray, Todd Merkel, Ty Bostic, and Aiden Lucas. A couple retirees already, Zach Allen and Greg Stone. And Brad D. Peters, also retired. And Garrett Johnson, sorry, one more. So 4 drivers out of the 32 have already retired. This is a tough course. Sammy Harrell just off the track. Watching the 43 go around, unfortunately.
Oh, man.
And go around more.
Yeah, just, doing some donuts. It's out for donuts tonight. And that's one of the big things that we were talking about, is just surviving and not beating yourself. And that's one of the toughest parts about road course racing, is not beating yourself. And because that is an avoidable mistake. You could run 10 seconds, 20 seconds off pace and, get the car woed down and everything. But what's the fun in that? Well, if you're trying to secure points, that's what you're going to have to do. But if you're out here for a win like 51, and obviously all these guys are, you got to run, all out.
Well, Andrew Bush, he's out in front. Andrew needs a win to secure his position in the playoffs, although he is doing pretty well. Let's bring up that standings one more time. You can see Andrew sitting in 12th, but obviously a win is a win.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the board, you have behind him Kyle Smalley, who's got a win. Jared Wishin does not have a win yet. Neither does Roberto Ramirez, but Austin Call does. Walker Thomas does. Maxwell Caldwell does. I mean, all these guys that he's getting chased by, a majority of them have a win. So very curious to see what's going to happen if he can hold it out and lock himself into the playoffs. We have just 24 laps to go here at Road America, almost a third of the way through this race.
Yeah, you've got a 4-second lead over Kyle Smalley in second, and it just goes on from there. Jared Wishin, almost 8 seconds. Roberto Ramirez, about 10 seconds behind. Real big battle if you go back to the 41. He's battling pretty tightly with Austin Call there. Nose to tail. I think Maxwell Caldwell may have gone off track. These two guys, that's Roberto Ramirez in the 41, Austin Call in the 47, right behind. Further on back, here you've got Christoph Hall. Oh, just going off track. That allowed Justin Lewis in the 7 to improve and break the top 10.
It did, absolutely.
Jordan Weaver right there, currently in 12th. Rowan Collette is there. We saw Rowan go off early. He qualified pretty well. He qualified, I believe, 5th, but he slipped back to 13th after an off-track incident. Further on back, Jeremy Brown. Phil Van Nortwick in the 24. He's got the 55 of Nathan Yarnell behind him, and Cody Sturgill. Cody's got a little bit of damage on that front nose.
He does, but he's able to keep it going around here.
Locked it up, trying to avoid getting into the rear bumper of the 55. So the 99 of Marco Berube, who always has great paints. Oh, Jeremy Brown, I think, has gone off track in the 07. Making our way back, John Ledger, unfortunately, is off track. Kyle Smalley making his way around John Ledger.
We've got a battle forming right here as John Ledger is off track at a very inopportunistic time for the 47 to try to go by. That's tough.
We'll stick with the 47 and the 41. The 47 made his way around the 41 and has moved into 4th position. But Andrew Pleshy has continued to expand his lead, now a full second plus over Kyle Smalley. Kyle is now sitting in 6 seconds behind. Nathan Yarnell is in trouble. That's the 55. Went off track. Got some damage. '43 of Sammy Harrell. Back up front. You know, it's clear sailing right now for Andrew Pileshi. He's got nobody in front of him at the moment. I think he's coming up to Marco Berube, I think is the next car that will be in front of him. This is always a challenge. You're racing with guys that really aren't road course racers, and it does make it challenging. Well, we appreciate all of you who have tuned in tonight to the Tech for Troops Cup Series event here at Road America. Right now, Andrew Pileshi is out in front. Kyle Smalley is in second. Jared Wishin in third. Austin Call in fourth, and Roberto Ramirez in fifth. We're going to take a commercial break. We will be right back. We'll go side by side so you won't miss anything. Thanks for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network.
Hello, my name is Jack Raymondson. I manage business development here at Tech for Troops, and I'm my second year with this amazing veteran nonprofit owned and operated by veterans for veterans. I served in the U.S. Marine Corps as an amphibious assault crewman from 1992 to 1996. I also served in the U.S. Coast Guard from 2002 to 2007, joining after 9/11 as an operations specialist, then serving as an instructor at Coast Guard Training Center, Yorktown. I also spent many years as a first responder volunteering as an EMT and fireman. I'm here at Tech for Troops because I believe in our mission to empower veterans and their families with the gift of computers and technology training, as well as our outreach to help curb veteran suicide while providing a safe and meaningful community where veterans are treated with respect and dignity. We are aiming for zero veteran suicide through gaming and other program opportunities. We help veterans regain a new sense of purpose and help them see they have a brighter future ahead of them. It truly is an honor and my pleasure to serve my fellow veterans and help give them a leg up. 2024 is Tech for Troops' 10th anniversary year, and I ask that you help us support our veterans and their families with a computer donation and or greatly needed financial contribution so we can help every last veteran in need. Together, you and Tech for Troops can be change makers. Thank you.
All right, welcome back to the IWM Broadcast Network. Thought we were going side by side there, but the production truck surprised us. We went full commercial on that, but just so you know, nothing changed. Andrew Pileshi still out front. Kyle Smalley has closed the gap by a second, down to 4.8 between himself and Andrew Pileshi. Still continuing on there and setting themselves farther apart. As you can see from the track map, this crew is scattered throughout the entire Road America 4 miles.
They are, and it looks like we're seeing Jordan Weaver off track at the moment. He was able to come back on, but right now, Rick, biggest mover of the race, Matthew Wood, up 15 spots. Currently actually has the fastest lap of a 2:10.735.
Yeah, we can stay with Matthew for a bit, keep an eye on him. On board with Matthew. See, they're down to like 75 miles an hour through that corner, and then it's pretty much wide open to the start and finish line.
Yeah, then you go to the hard braking corner of turn one, which is, it's interesting to see where he's going to brake. Is he going to brake at the blue cone? Yeah, he brakes at the blue cone, and those three cones on the left gets it woe down to second gear.
I mean, 175 miles an hour down to nothing. All right, 11 laps completed. We expect that these drivers will need at some point at least one fuel stop and tires probably at that point.
I'm curious to see when some of these drivers are going to make their way down pit road. We already saw Justin Lewis on pit road at lap 10, so he may be able to go all the way, because if you do that math, Rick, you said 21 laps. That means he has to go 21 if you pit on lap 10, so you might be on the nose with that pit calculation.
So the one of Walker Thomas driving through that gravel area. Cody Sturgill. So that 64 has certainly got some damage on it.
Yeah, he's in the middle of the road, too, right in front of Kyle Smalley, trying to get out of the way. He's able to do it, but that 64 is damaged. Rick. He's trying to do everything he can to keep it on track, but that right front toe link is completely smashed in.
And he heads towards the pits. Also, Austin Call is on pit road. We'll watch Austin Call's pit stop since we're right here. For a better camera shot, there's none. It's the best we get, I guess. Looks like he went right side only.
I think that's a good call, just because of the fact that right side tires are going to matter a little bit more here with the cornering, and I think that could be an interesting strategy call going forward, just to get those two tires on, just to get some fresh tires. Now, the balance of the car will be different. I'm curious how he's going to handle that throughout the rest of the race.
Christoph Hall doing a little bit of off-road work there. On Andrew Pileshi. Our leader, he's got 5.7 seconds or so behind, ahead of Kyle Smalley in second. Really, from this point, it's just try not to make a mistake, right? Don't beat yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's the big thing here, to not beat yourself. That was my third key, and it's happening all throughout this race. We've seen a lot of drivers going off, the field separated by over a minute for the top 12, and we've seen Kyle Smalley make a mistake. And I mean, all these drivers, haven't done something exactly right, but that's the nature of this. Who can make the least amount of mistakes? Matthew Woodhoff, as we're speaking, sorry, announcer's curse there. Who can make the least amount of mistakes is such a big key here in road racing.
So Walker Thomas almost lose it around that corner. As the laps continue to trickle away here at Road America. See your leader get around the 24 of Philip Van Ortwick.
Philip currently running in the 17th spot, the first car one lap down.
That means that the 91's next victim could be the 43, but he's got about 3 or 4 corners before he runs up on the tail of the 43. Andrew is really keeping it together, doing super well.
I mean, he's doing everything right. I mean, I'm looking at his lap times. They have fallen off just a little bit, but he's the fastest car on track, and he's doing it in a fashion where it's consistent. He's very consistent with his times. And that gap has actually increased from about 15 laps ago. It was about a 2.8 second gap. Now it's a 3.6 second gap.
Kyle is closing. He's now down to a 3.5.
And you can see those brake rotors glowing as well. It's going to be glowing all night for these cars.
51 needs to find his way around the 24. So 24 off track there.
Yep, it looks like Christoph Hall is in pit road. And that gap is stabilizing around that 3.5 second mark. Now, it looks like the 51 has been a little bit better in this section of the track. So we'll see if he can close the gap here and get a good run off. You can see him. He's right up there. It's one of the most frustrating things as a driver. You can see the car in front of you, but it's not getting smaller. It's not getting, any bigger. It's just holding ground, and you're like, oh my gosh, what can I do? That was a big corner right there for the 51. I mean, look at the gap. Oh, you see, here comes the 91 with a 3-second lead, and Kyle Smalley right behind him. This is where you can gain a lot of time on pit road. Let's see if, though, the 51 gained a big margin there, Rick. This might be a closer battle off pit road than we think it is.
All three, Smalley, Wishin, and Paleshi, all on pit road.
Watch this battle off of pit road. Are they going to take fuel only? Are they going to take...
Top 5 on pit road.
All right, here we go. Let's see what the 51 does and the 91 does. Left sides for the 91. Wow, so they're taking tires, Rick.
Yep.
'51's out first.
Nope.
Or, excuse me, that's the 91.
Yep.
I was like getting confused with the numbers now. 91 out front here.
But that puts Roberto Ramirez up in front in the 41.
Yeah,
Roberto,
shout out to him.
Yeah, he has not pitted yet. Number of drivers who have not come in quite yet.
He's doing a great job, though, keeping his times consistent. And I've noticed that for that 41, he's been able to do it all race long. See him going to go under the Speedville sign, into the carousel here, see how this car handles. It's yawing to the left. Then let's get back in the throttle right here.
A little wide, a little out of...
Stabs that throttle back here. Let's see what turn 12 is going to look like.
He is definitely aggressively going after it for sure.
He's doing a great job, too. Has a little bit of left rear damage, but I think it's fine. Now he caught the 24 to bad time. Oh, got in front of the leader to 41 sideways. That is your leader, folks. Got into it with the 24 of Philip Vanderwick. And there goes the 51, and there goes the 91. Trouble for... Oh, how did the 91 get... Did the 91 get behind the 51? No, that was another car that looked exactly like it. There's the leaders that just went by. Just absolutely... Oh, he's spinning again. Rick, I think the 41 sideways again. Oh, yeah, he's making it down. Oh, yeah, he's still sideways.
On pit road.
Yeah, something's going on with that car. Unfortunate for him.
Roberto Ramirez and Roland Collette, Michael Anthony all on pit road. Philip Van Norwick is still on pit road. Nathan Yarnell is out. Marco Ruby off track. In the gravel, right out of turn 14, right before the start-finish line. Looks like he's got a transmission problem or something.
Yeah, something's happening here. This is not good. This is not good. Oh, now he's going back up. All right, up front though, Andrew Pileshi. Austin Call now off track, Rick. He was able to regather it back up there. Might have gone around.
Austin Call currently sitting in fourth. 15 laps to go. This race is halfway over. Andrew Pileshi out in front, but not by much. That gap is now less than 2 seconds between the second place car of Kyle Smalley. Jared Wishin is there, but farther back. But right now it's a two-car race between the 91 and the 51.
It is, and I'm curious to see how this battle's going to shape up as we get towards the later portions of the race.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, folks. Again, we will go side by side this time. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for a way to safely and securely dispose of your old electronic devices? Why not donate them to Tech for Troops? Tech for Troops is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to bridging the technology gap for Indian veterans and their families. The donation process is quick and easy. Simply go to techfortroops.org and click on the donate link at the top right-hand side of the page. Scroll down to access the Give Back Box link. To create your shipping label, click Add to Cart and complete the checkout process. The shipping label is good for up to 50 pounds. You can recycle most standard shipping boxes to send in your devices. Oh, don't forget the power cords. Give new life to your old technology by responsibly recycling with Tech for Troops. Help save the environment and support a veteran.
All right, leaders just getting around David Watts there, and they are nose to tail. Kyle Smalley, with that lap traffic, was able to close the gap to the 91.
Yeah, I think the 91 and the 54 actually made contact there, and 91's not going to be too pleased with that, I can imagine, now that the gap is closed down to under half of a second, Rick, between first and second. And if that 51 gets ahead, it might be see you later. Oh, here comes the 51 down to the low side. 91's going to be there. He's going to go to the outside. We have a battle for first going through the carousel. This is interesting. Who's going to be on top?
Side by side.
Wow. Now, Rick, only one car can make it through this corner.
I think the 91's better positioned for that for sure.
Oh, the 51 got a great run. Great run. He's going to try to go down into turn 12. He's going to try to outbrake him here. Go to his far right. Oh, he's going to try to go around the outside. Oh, 91 locks it up.
Forces the 51 to run on the outside there. Oh,
he has
contact.
Position. Oh, the 51 had position. Oh, 91's off track.
Great battle amongst these drivers. As we come out of turn 14.
Oh, yeah, they're still going to battle all the way through. Oh, 51 takes the lead. Kyle Smalley, what driving. And we'll see what this 91 can do, Rick, going into turn one. Will he try to press his luck?
13 laps to go, plenty of time.
if I was a 91 right now, I would just try to follow in the tracks of that 51 car, see what he's doing. He's clearly the faster car. See where he's better than me on the track and try to mimic it. We have Austin Call off track again. I think he's off track. Yep, he's back.
'54 of David Watts also off track.
That gap is somewhat stabilizing at about 6 to 7 tenths of a second right now between the 51 and the 91. 51 was a little bit slower than the 91 right there, but it looks like the 51 can break into a corner much better than Andrew can. Kyle has the entry speed under braking that hasn't been matched. He was at the top of the boards in practice for a reason.
Another battle on track is this Jordan Weaver, Roland Collette.
And Maxwell Caldwell too.
Yep. That's all for positions, all three of those drivers. That is,
Yeah, great move.
Yeah, 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Yeah, great move from the 9 of Roland Collette there. Wow, what a move down to the corner.
Austin Call is chasing these guys down, trying to get back up. Back up front, Andrew Pileshi. Got a gap, but now Jared Wishin is, I'm sorry, not Jared Wishin. Thought that car behind the 91 was Jared Wishin. It's not. There's a good bit of time back to Jared. He's like 7 seconds behind. That's the lap car of Marco Berube that the leaders have made around. All right, 12 laps to go here at Road America. We thank you for tuning in to the IWM broadcast. We don't often cover this track, so this is kind of new to us and new to this league. Again, the regular NASCAR drivers are down in Mexico for the, I'm not even sure the name of that track, John.
Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez.
Yeah, that's a common name. Outside of Mexico City. We saw the blurbs recently, just what it took to get all that convoy of tractor trailers with cars and equipment down there. Pretty incredible. I heard 140 haulers it took to get everything down to Mexico.
Yeah, I heard like 132 or 140. Yeah, that's an incredible feat, and really cool to see what that race is going to look like. And so we wish that we could race in Mexico City here at that track, but not available to us yet. But we're here at Road America, a road course that's taking its place and putting on a great show so far with Kyle Smalley gapping the field right now by 2 seconds. We knew when he got that lead, it was going to be lights out. See you later.
Out of the laps we've run, Kyle Smalley has led 5. Andrew Pileshi has led 16 laps.
And the gap just got closed down by about 7 tenths of a second, Rick. Right there in that one corner.
Yeah, yep. Leaders are coming up to hurry downs and headed towards turn 8 as they will enter into the carousel.
Yeah, and that gap is now down to 1.2 seconds. Maybe this race isn't over just yet. Andrew Pileshi might have learned a thing or two. Look at that entry. He's able to have the entry speed where the 51 can't. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I think they would have enough fuel.
Yeah,
That
these
gap is
guys
slowly
pitted
closing,
last on lap 15. That should be plenty.
Might be a little bit of an effect of a draft.
They head towards into turn 12, which is Canada corner. Then through 13 and 13A as they head towards the final turn before we go back to the start-finish line.
Yeah, the gap is now down to about 0.9 of a second, Rick. I mean, this 91 car of Andrew Pileshi has figured something out. He is coming now down to the back bumper of that 51 pretty quick. Last time by was 2 seconds. This time by it's 0.7.
On board with the 91. Really what you need here is just to be smooth. The race will come to you, but you've just got to be smooth. The more aggression you put into it, the more opportunity for a mistake.
Yeah, it's really all about figuring out how to be aggressive, but not overstepping the boundaries of the car. You got to know what the boundaries are, but you can't overstep that. And that's one of the toughest parts about road course racing, because you want to go all, flat out, but sometimes hitting the brakes and going slower is actually faster. It's a weird thing to experience, but it's oftentimes the right choice. I see the gap now still about 0.7 of a second going into the carousel.
There will be coming up on lap traffic. I think the 2 of Todd Merkel is right there in the sights of the 51.
Yeah, we've seen lap traffic.
Yep, and how they deal with that could make a big difference.
For sure, we've seen it be hectic, so will the 91 be able to take an opportunity like the 51 did? Because that's what happened there. And we saw what happened with the 41, unfortunately, who is now currently sitting in 23rd. Up the 2 pulls to the right side. Going to let the leaders go on by.
It's a drag race, but he has inside position on the 91 here. Oh, he dives in behind him. There we go.
Yep, and it looks like there might be one more lap. Actually, no, it's a little bit further up the road.
Yep, that's the 07 of Jeremy Brown, and Jeremy is the last car on the lead lap.
Oh, 21's off track. Back on track now. And right now, Rick, there's only 14 cars on the lead lap, so that is gonna be one of those races where if you could just survive. Even if let's just hypothetically say you're 2 seconds off the pace, at this point in the race, you would be somewhere around 40 seconds behind the leaders. So you'd be sitting right there in about 6th place,
Right, exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. If you're 2 seconds off pace, you can finish a minute off pace, you're in the top 10. I mean, it's all about survival, and we've obviously seen the class of the field here. Oh, rolling Collette off track big time. He was able to regather it back up. Class of the field, Kyle Smalley, Andrew Pileshi, Jared Wishon. But let's talk about some of the biggest movers of the race. Matthew Wood up 16 positions there in that 21 car. Mission 1 Esports doing a great job here. Actually has the fastest lap of the race at a 2:10.735.
Other big movers also Walker Thomas. He's up 13 spots, sitting right behind Matthew Wood in 5th. Oh, I think Andrew Pileshi may have gone off just a little bit, but
no harm, no foul. Slowly keeping that gap at about 0.7 of a second. Not gaining much, not losing much now with 8 laps to go. Who's going to get it done? Folks, don't turn away after the broadcast. We're going to interview after the race. Oh, big off there by the 9. He's out.
Yeah, he was not able to get out of that, which is unfortunate. And that's one of the things we're talking about early on. If you're off track and your car is in a position where you cannot restart it or get it back on track, you're going to have to effectively tow back to the pits. And what that means is that iRacing adds a preset amount of time to you before you can get back in and get back out on track. And at a road course like this, that could be 10 minutes.
Yeah, it could be it could be a while, and you don't want to ever have to do that here on a road course. You'll be sitting there for a long time. Long time. But Rick, let's look at this. Oh, the 51 got a little loose, so did the 21 right there.
Yeah, this is the, we've only got 7 laps or so left. All it takes is one mistake.
It does. And right now, looking at everybody else, there's really not any other battles on the track. I mean, Austin Call just had a big off, but no other battles outside of this lead 2, the front 2. So we're going to showcase this probably for them to race, but really quick, going to highlight the top 10. Jared Wishon up 4 spots to 3rd. Matthew Wood up 16 spots to 4th. Walker Thomas up 13 spots to 5th. Maxwell Caldwell in 6th, exactly where he started. Jordan Weaver up 8 in P7. Austin Call -6 down to 8th. Michael Anthony up 1 to 9th, and Justin Lewis up 11 to 10th place. 13 cars on the lead lap.
Yep, we're going to take pretty much our final commercial break. Again, side by side, you won't miss a thing. We'll stay right here. And thanks for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network.
When I got out of the military, I had a hard time translating my military experience into the civilian world. I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my wife, I probably would have been that homeless or impoverished vet. But it can be easier with the right support. I'm Mark Casper, and I'm the Executive Director of Tech for Troops. In today's world, you have to have a computer to be able to apply for jobs. Our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce.
Here at Tech for Troops, we're here to push you forward to get you back to where you want to be in life. When the veterans come in, I teach them everything you could think of that's done with a computer. I want them to feel that this is a tool that's going to help them get their life back.
I went into a kind of a deep depression. Eventually, I lost my job and I was out on the street. The computer was able to connect me to the web, and I was able to start putting resumes out. And you have to have these small building blocks to get from point A to point B. I'm not worried about employment anymore.
The need is great, and we want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, welcome back to the IWM broadcast of the Tech for Troops Cup Series here at Road America in the Tech for Troops Road America 125. We just got 7 laps to go. Your leader, Kyle Smalley, not by much, just less than a second. You've got Andrew Pileshi right there behind. We're keeping an eye on this too. Andrew, desperate for his first win. You can tell by looking at those names, if they've got a win, they've got a blue background around their name.
Yeah, I mean, a win from Pileshi, like I said before in the pre-race, it'd be huge to jump him up from 12th into the playoffs officially. Now, he has a pretty good gap, but look at all that gravel coming off the 51 car, just rolling over it there, coming out of turn or going into turn number 2. This track is just covered with gravel, and, you know, if you're under heavy braking, gravel on tires means slicks. So, but look at the different lines here. Look how wide the 91 gets into the corner. 51 takes a little bit more of a shallower line in. Great display of these two cars and the different lines you can take and still be fast here at Road America.
Kind of keeping an eye on who's in front of these drivers. They're coming up through into the carousel right now. Exiting the carousel is the 24 of Philip Van Nortwick, and I think the 61. I think I've got that number correct. I'm sorry, that may be the 81. And that 81 is William Corinne. He is the last car on the lead lap. So these leaders are basically will be getting close to running up on William Corinne, who has actually run a very good race. He's very consistent here with just 6 laps left. Across the start and finish line, the 2 of Todd Merkel still in the pits as they head into turn 1. With just 5 laps left to go here at Road America. These guys are so consistent, John.
Yeah, I'm amazed watching them, honestly. It's lap after lap. They are hitting their marks. They are not making a mistake, and they're within 0.2 of each other or 1/10 of each other every single lap. And it seems like when the 51 gains, the 91 is able to match it. When the 51 falls off, the 91's able to make up the ground. I mean, it's still there within about a second. So it's not over yet, folks. It is not over yet, as we have 12 cars on the lead lap. Ty Bostic off, Nathan Yarnell off track at the moment, and John Ledger as well. I mean, they're able to break into the corner so well and get a great drive off every single time. It's obviously the class of the field right here. These two drivers, any road course we go to later in the season, you have to watch out for Smalley and Pileshi. I think it'll be a great battle. We see some dirt flying up in the air.
Coming out of turn 14, head back towards the start-finish line.
What I'm noticing is that Andrew Pileshi is not good in the middle portion of the track, where Kyle Smalley is better, and then Andrew Pileshi is better in what is Sector 3, or the back-end portion of this circuit. So basically between turns 9 and turns 14. As the gap now closes down to about 0.4 of a second. Here comes the 91, pressuring the 51, Rick.
He's done that before. We've seen him close that gap around the same time.
Has he just been holding off?
Maybe he has, with just 4 laps left to go.
And it's a great opportunity right here to break.
Sorry, we cut away for a second. Christoph Hall had gone off course.
Oh, Ty Bostikoff. It seems like right here is when this gap will start to grow just a little bit. Oh, the 91 may have gotten a little too hot right there. Able to close it in, but see, this is where it starts to get up to like 0.7 and 0.8 of a second. He just loses all of this time.
He's slinging it a little wide.
Right there, I mean, he was all the way on the edge, but he lost 0.3 of a second, and that's the difference. Now, right here is where he'll be able to gain it all the way back up. You can see that start to drop right there, almost by 0.2 of a second. Yeah, it's really that carousel corner that's getting the 91 car, Rick.
Yep, and they've almost caught up to the lapped car of the 24 of Philip Van Norwick.
Yeah, the gap is 3.9, 3.8 right now. Going down, that 51 is going to have to put a little bit of a block on. We'll see if the 91 makes a move into turn 1. He backs up the corner a little bit. I like the move. '24 breaks off as we have 3 laps to go here. This is the battle for the lead and for the win between Andrew Pileshi and Kyle Smalley. That 91 is going to have that draft, Rick, and he's going to be able to leverage that to his advantage. But he's still falling off a little bit, falling off more now.
I mean, he's right there, but he still can't make it around, but he's tight.
It looks like he's just backing up his corners more. I mean, he's keeping the gap, level. And last time by, he was about 0.3 of a second right here, 0.4 of a second. Now this is where this could really start to get away from the 91. Let's see if he has a better turn in.
That looks better.
Yeah, that was much better this time by. And there it starts to creep up again. The entry of this carousel section is not good, then the exit's not good. He gains in the middle, then loses on exit. But it could stabilize. That's the thing right there. That lap, he didn't let it get too far back. Rick, I think that 91's better than the 51 at the moment.
All right, as we make it through turns 12, 13, and 14, we're going to come down to just 2 laps to go here at Road America.
Oh, he's got lap cars. Lap cars in front of them, Rick. This is going to be treacherous. They get by all right. The gap is still there at about 0.4 of a second. 2 laps to go at the line right now.
Next time by, the white flag will fly.
Rick, if you were these 2 drivers right now, which one would you rather be, Kyle Smalley or Andrew Pileshi?
Well, if I could drive like Kyle Smalley, I'd rather be Kyle Smalley.
Oh, there's 91. I thought he was going to give the bumper to him a little bit. Yeah, I actually was going to be on the opposite side. I would rather be in the 91's shoes right now because you know what that 51 is going to do up front. If you're the 51, you really don't know what line that 91's going to run. So there's more unknown being the leader, and you have to defend, where the 91, you have to be the aggressor. I'd rather be on the aggressive side versus the defensive side right here, as the gap is now less than 0.3 of a second.
So close. I keep watching.
Oh, he got in the dirt. He got in the dirt.
Yep, yep.
What were you watching?
Well, watching Jared Wishon and Matthew Wood in 3rd and 4th, they're right there together, but they're driving super aggressively. I have no idea who's going to sit on. Oh, the 91 goes way off track.
Oh, he saves it. He saves it, though. Oh, what a save by the 91. Saved his race. Now, Rick.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if he can catch him at this point.
Same thing goes with Jared Wishon and Matthew Wood. I don't think Matthew's got it to break to get on that podium. They're both aggressively driving.
Rick, that gap is now closed down to 1.4. We're about to get the white flag. Gap is down to 1.3. That 91, I don't know. I feel like that 91 has something in him, Rick. I feel like he's faster, but we have the white flag in the air.
Yeah, I think he gave everything he could. If he had held on to it, great opportunity, but it may have been squandered.
No, I don't think he's done. I don't think he's done yet.
Well, we'll know in about 3.5 miles.
He's going to cut another 2 seconds right there. He's able to get into corner entry much quicker than the 51 can. Now, he lost a little bit right there, but he has a lot of heavy braking zones coming up in about 4 different corners. If he can gain about 0.2 of a lap, or 0.2 of a second every single braking zone, I think he could get by him. Here we go. It was 0.9 before this corner. Oh, wow. That's a big chunk knocked out of it right there. He's trying everything he can. Still gained about 0.2. Yeah, this race is not over, Rick. That 91 is there. About 0.5 of a second separates. Oh, don't lock it up, 91. Oh, the 51 made a mistake. The 51 made a mistake, Rick.
It's close, but we're running out of track here.
Yeah, there's only a couple more opportunities for this 91. Now, the 91 has to nail this corner right here. He has to gain, and he does. He goes wide. Oh, the 51 had to slow down. Rick, the 91 might have a shot here. Going into turn 12, what will the 91 do? The 91's going to be there.
He's trying.
Might do a little crossover move. Not there yet. He's on the back doorstep, though, Rick. He is right on the back bumper of the 51. He knows what he needs to do. Does he dare do it? Does he dare move the 51 going the last corner?
He looked.
Oh, he's trying. Oh, I don't think he's going to do it. Oh, he's not going to do it. Kyle Smalley fending off a great drive from the 91 isn't going to be able to win today, but Kyle Smalley is going to win at Road America. Man, that was close. Andrew Pileshi, what a drive in P2. Amazing finish. Amazing finish.
Wow. Those guys have battled for lap after lap after lap, coming in at the same time. As soon as we get the final results, we'll put those up as these drivers kind of make their way around. We're watching your winner, Kyle Smalley.
Yeah, what an amazing victory. I mean, Andrew Pileshi was a faster car on that last lap, almost 1.1 seconds faster than Kyle Smalley. I think Kyle might be out of gas.
He may be getting a bit of a push.
Oh, yeah, that 51 is out of fuel.
Talk about cutting it close. Holy cow.
Wow. I wonder when he ran out.
Well, as soon as these guys join us in the green room, we'll bring that to you. We're waiting for the final results to come through. Those have not come through as of yet. Always takes a bit longer at a road course.
It does. It does.
Getting a good push from the 60. That's Jared Wishon. Jared finished fourth here. He may have finished third. I'm waiting for the final results to come in.
Yeah, it might take a second, but Rick, what a finish to the end though. Like I was like, okay, this 91 has been able to do a lot, and he was able to close the. I mean, he had a chance, Rick, to move that 51 out of the way. So now I pose the question: what would you have done if you were the 91?
I would have just, after all the clean racing back and forth, I would have just did exactly what Andrew Pileshi did. Just run my race, do the best job I could. And all right, we do have results finally here.
All right, let's do it. Yeah, I agree. He had a great points day right there. Kyle Smalley gets the win here tonight in the Tech for Troop Cup Series. The Tech for Troop Road America 125, brought to you by, like I said before, Tech for Troop Cup Series and the Go Racing Diecast. Kyle Smalley on with P1, Andrew Pileshi in second, Walker Thomas finishes in third. We will interview all three of those drivers here in just a moment. Jared Wishon in fourth, Matthew Wood finishes in fifth, Austin Call finishes in sixth, with Michael Anthony, Maxwell Caldwell, Jordan Weaver, and Justin Lewis rounding out the top 10.
Christoph Hall finishes in 11th with William Corinne in 12th, Jeremy Brown in 13th, Chuck Van Scoik in 14th, Sammy Harrell in 15th, Nathan Yarnell in 16th, Philip Van Ortwick in 17th, and 18th you've got John Ledger, 19th is Marco Ruby, and 20th is Wyatt Gray.
In 21st, you have David Watts with Roland Collette in 22nd. Todd Merkel finishing in 23rd with Ty Bostic finishing in 24th. Roberto Ramirez, tough break, finishing in 25th with Ryan D. Cook and finishing in 26th. Cody Sturgill, Brad Peters, Garrett Johnston, and Aiden Lucas round out your top 30, with Zach Allen and Greg Stone rounding out 31st and 32nd.
Well, with that, let's bring in Walker Thomas into the broadcast booth. Walker, congratulations on your third place finish. Man, tough race today here at Road America.
Yeah, I'm sweating. Man, well, I think the update made the force feedback feel a little bit heavier, so maybe it's just placebo effect because of the update or something. I don't know, but felt like it was more of a workout tonight than I thought it was going to be. So, yeah, that was quite the interesting run for me. Started P18 and didn't get a clean qualifying lap in, and avoided the chaos to get mid-pack, and then, just kind of started picking them off one by one. But it was also, I'm sure, as you guys know, a little bit of a fuel race. So what a weird race. I don't know what else to much say. It was just weird all around.
No, well, congratulations on your finish. Again, you were, I think, if I'm looking back to the records, you were you were tied with Matthew Wood for the most improved position over your qualifying time. So that's great. Road America is a challenging course, very technical with the elevation changes, and certainly with the changes that iRacing has made to the more realistic gravel and dirt on track. How did that affect the car much?
Surprisingly, a lot. A lot of the spots where guys had come back out on track, a lot of gravel was laid down, and I'm sure you could see it from the broadcast. But in the past, it may not really matter that much, but it really did feel like if there was gravel on the track, you had to tiptoe around it because you really would just lose grip. So, it was definitely a challenge. A lot of debris, kept getting the red and yellow flag, seemed like every corner. So, that's going to happen whenever you've got, I don't know how many showed up tonight. I'm sure 30 plus. It looks like 32 showed up tonight. Yep. So when you run a road course, that's going to happen. So everybody had to fight it, but just had to kind of do it like dirt, try to find a way around it and find where the most grip is.
Well, congratulations on your finish. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Shout out to my balls out teammates. I think all of us got top 10 this week. Obviously, Kyle with the win, so congrats to him. I think Mike was able to bring it home P7 and Jordan P9. So, once again, another great week for the balls guys. Faster than Xfinity Mobile again this week. Shout out to Diecast fans for always being on the car. Use code DFANS at circleb.com for $6 off shipping. And then Elite Designs for always having us looking good out on track.
You got it. All right. That is Walker Thomas finishing in third. And with that, we'll bring in Andrew Pileshi into the broadcast booth. Man, Andrew, you tried so hard in those last few laps.
Yeah, man, I blew it. It was a very close race, and I'm happy to have hung on like I did, but it was so close, man. I tried so hard, like you said.
Yeah, no doubt. Certainly we were featuring. Of course, you and Kyle were right there battling out. Y'all pretty much led most of the laps out here tonight. So, just a great race. Really, those last few laps were a blast to watch.
Yeah, I bet. From where I was sitting, I think what happened was I kind of think I was a little better on fuel, and I wish I'd have jumped just a little bit earlier than I did. And then of course, it doesn't matter because I blew, I don't even know what turn it is after the carousel there, and lost all that time, and then got close enough, and he was razor thin, man. I barely missed it. The fuel game changed everything. I was not expecting. I was going into this thinking this was a for sure 2-stop race, and as we got into it, I realized, yeah, we got to do a 1-stopper, and it completely changed everything.
Yeah, man, I think Kyle ran out of fuel just after crossing the start-finish line.
Yeah, if I could have just been able to push him a little quicker, because I had about a half a gallon, I think, at that point or something, maybe a little more than that. It was close. It was really, really close. So yeah, shout out to him for keeping it clean. We were beating and banging there a little bit. Everybody finished where they were supposed to, so.
Well, again, congratulations. Shout outs tonight?
Yeah, shout out to Kyle for racing me good and clean, and like I said, we were able to fight there and keep it clean. My teammates, the 1320 boys, Todd Merkel, Maxwell Caldwell, Justin Lewis, Austin Call, and Elliot for putting on the league, and you guys do a great job in the booth. Like I said last time I was up here, I get to watch this tomorrow when I'm supposed to be working, so looking forward to that.
Okay. Well, there's your second place finisher tonight. That's Andrew Pileshi here at Road America. And with that, we'll go ahead and move into the broadcast booth. The winner of tonight's Road America 125 is Kyle Smalley. Kyle, congratulations.
Thanks, guys. How are y'all?
We're good. We're good. We really enjoyed watching you run tonight.
Yeah, so Walker pointed out from the very beginning that it was going to be a fuel mileage race. So I think from like lap 3 after I screwed up that hairpin, I just started saving. And it got me to the lap I wanted to on that first pit stop, but for some reason it was even going to be even more close on that second run for fuel. So I had to save more than I did the first run. But Andrew did a great job. I think he saved more than I did that first half of that run. And then I just saved just enough to where I could go just hard enough on that last lap. I felt like if I could just keep a steady pace, and I ran out at the line. So
yeah, we saw that, and luckily you got some help to get pushed all the way back around.
Yeah, so thanks to Sammy for that, and Jared. Also, Race Labs for helping me calculate that fuel and get to the finish.
Wow, no, it was a great finish. It was good watching the battle you were having with Andrew was spectacular.
Yeah, I felt like we were dead even. I mean, honestly, I wish that it wasn't a fuel mileage race from the start, in which we could have seen like who was actually fastest and whatnot. But I'll take the P1.
Yeah, well, that's where you started, right? So, congratulations on your win. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, everybody at Balls Out Racing. I think everybody got in the top 10 tonight. Yep, we sure did.
Yep.
So that's a good point today for the team. You guys for broadcasting, Tech for Troops for sponsoring the league, Elite Designs, and that's about it.
Well, congratulations on your win. John, any questions? Oh, I think you're going to ask a brake bias question.
Yeah, so Kyle, were you a adjusting either one your master cylinders or your brake bias? Because the way you were going to those corners was aggressive and the car stuck.
Yeah, I don't. I didn't really touch the brakes. I maybe went down 0.5% on the brake bias. But
Wow.
I guess this new tire model or whatever iRacing did, maybe it suits me. We'll see.
Yeah,
All
did a
right.
great job. Congrats.
Thank you.
All right, there's your winner tonight. John, any parting words or thoughts as we wrapped up tonight's broadcast?
Yeah, I just want to say, hope everybody enjoyed the race tonight. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure to tune in next week. We will be at Pocono for the Great American Getaway 160 tomorrow or next week here on Wednesday night.
We'll do it. All right. So from John and myself, we thank you so much for tuning in. We're not on the air tomorrow night, but we'll see you next Wednesday at Pocono. Thanks for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network showing of the Tech for Troops Cup Series here at Road America. Good night, folks.